All right, welcome everyone. Okay, this particular lesson is about graphing two variables inequalities. As you notice on your screen, you're looking at a version of Casio graphing calculator. It actually is the 9750G2. There are slight differences if you have a 9860, but it should still work. And then after I go through this and show it to you with the Casio, I'm also going to then go through it again and show it to you with a TI. So everybody just hang on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I don't need this screen. So what I'd like you to see is we're going to just start with graphing something very similar. And so what I'd like you, I'm going to go here. That way you can see the equation, and then if you want to jump ahead, you can, and then see if it matches up. That's totally up to you. So give me, sorry, just a minute. Um, well, that's going to be a little difficult. I don't have a lot of ports, sorry. Um, I can take this up for just a second, and then I'll bring the Casio one back. That's just, sorry, don't have a lot of ports here. All right. Just looking for my pen. And I see it down at the bottom, but I'm not seeing it. Okay. We might have to change how we're doing that. That's okay. Just so you know, let me change that out while I'm talking to you. Okay, so the equation that we're going to be doing here is y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. So let's just go to the Casio, okay? No, I don't want you to scan it. I'm sorry, this is my own personal laptop that you guys are looking at. So, okay, so what we want to do is before, if you're on a Casio, before you actually graph an inequality, you need to change the type. So we're going to hit, as you see, I'm hitting F3, which is type, and then I'm going to hit F6, so I'm arrow over, and I want less than or equal to. So I just see which one matches. That's a nice advantage with Casio. Notice it's on the screen. You have to change the type before you type in the rest of the inequality. If you don't, it will not change it, okay? And so here's what you're seeing. So we're going to do 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1, execute, and then I'm going to tell it to draw. And there you go. It just, bam, it just shades. Now, one of the things you have to keep in mind on the Casio, if you do more than one, it's going to put everything on the screen. Now, keep in mind this is a black and white one, so that's why it looks like it does. Okay? So, let's see. For the next one I think I want to do, the equation is going to be, and sorry I can't get my Active Inspire to act right. But it's going to be, so if you'll write this down, it's 2x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 12. So you're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And then you're going to have 3y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 12. Divide all the way through by 3. You end up with y is greater than or equal to negative 2/3 x plus 4. So I want to put that one in, okay? So I'm going to exit. And then I'm just going to go back and type on top of it. Now, I need a greater than or equal to, so what I want to do, you can either unselect it, and so if you do that, that's fine. And then what I want to do is I still want to go in and change my type, because the type this time is now greater than or equal to. So I'm going to do that, okay? And then exit. I want to, there we go, okay? And so I'm going to do negative 2/3, so negative 2, fraction key 3x, and I want to do plus 4. And then I'm going to execute. Notice that this first one is not highlighted, okay? Now only the second one's highlighted. That's how I know it's only going to graph that one. And now I'm going to tell it to draw again, and there you go, okay? One of the things that I like about this particular calculator is notice that they both have the equal to underneath it, so notice that they're solid lines. If you do one that is just a regular inequality, such as y is greater than 2x minus 3, again, go through and change the type. And I said greater than, okay. And the nice thing is you see how it's changing it up here. That's what you want to see, okay. And so we're going to have 2x minus 3. And we're going to execute. Notice now that it's a dashed line because there's no equal sign underneath it. So that's going to help you when it's time to recreate this on your graph. Okay. And then, wow, there's your answer. And the reason it did that is because I had more than one selected. So let's go back up to y sub 2. And I want to unselect it. You just click on that and then tell it to draw. See, now it only does one. Okay. So you can do as many as you need to. If your equation is not in y equals format, you need to put it in that way. So now, the next one I want to do, let's do a couple of absolute value inequalities, and then that really is it. And then we'll go to the TI ones, okay? So again, I'm going to go down, and I'm going to unselect, okay? And now I want to do greater than, which is perfect because it's still on there. But now I want y is greater than the absolute value of x. So I'm going to do, remember on the Casio, hit Option, go to Number, Absolute Value, and I'm going to put x in parentheses because I only want the absolute value of x. And then I want it to do a +1. Okay, and it's going to be greater than that, so I'm going to hit Execute, and then I'm going to tell it to draw. And there you notice it's shading on the inside. Okay, now let's do one where there's actually something inside where I changed it. So execute. I'm going to go up and I want to unselect. And then I'm going to go down. And this time I want less than or equal to. So I'm going to go to type, F6. Y is less than or equal to. And I'm going to do absolute value. So option. Num, absolute value of 2x. So I'm going to do a parentheses, and you need to do that, okay? Because otherwise it's not going to know what to do. I'm going to do 2, and I'm going to do x, and then I'm going to close my parentheses. I'm going to execute, and then I'm going to tell it to draw. And there you go, okay? So as you see, graphing the absolute value inequalities is not much different than graphing the other type, okay? And then the last part of this assignment is really just writing the inequalities. You're going to write the equations just like you normally would, and then what's going to happen is you just have to decide if it's less than or greater than. Where is the shading? Is it above, which is greater than, or is it below, which is less than? Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at a TI and do the same thing, okay? So on the TI, I am going to, okay, let's do, now on the TI it's different. This one is the 84 plus. I'm actually going to change to the color one just because I like it. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so let me go to y equals, and I'm just going to clear these out. So we're going to delete, enter, and delete, and let's go back up. Okay, so I want to do the same one, which is y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. Now, one of the first things you got to do with the TI is you need to go in front of it. So you see how that is, and I'm going to pick that. Okay. Now, this is the color one. Most of you won't get the color thing. You'll just get the line. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to arrow down, but I want you to see what it looks like because it just looks really nice. Okay, so I'm going to pick this, and then I'm just going to hit enter till I get what I want. Whoops. I'm sorry, I got to hit left and right arrow. Okay, if everybody sees this triangle that's on the top filled in, that looks the same for all TIs. That means it's greater than, and I want less than. Okay, so I'm going to hit the right arrow again, and then I'll get less than. If for some reason you pass it, just keep clicking until it comes back around, because that's what it does. See, it just comes back around. Okay, so that's the one I want. And okay, so now you see it's going to do this. Now this is going to be really nice because it's in color. So now let's go back over, and let's put in our 2x plus 1. And then I'm going to say enter, and then I'm going to tell it to graph. And that's what it should look like. If you're on a black and white, it's going to look a little bit different. Okay. Let me show you what it looks like on just a regular one. Same problem. Just so you know how to access it. Because honestly, this isn't hard. Okay. So notice I'm going to go in front. Okay. Okay. Oh, duh. Sorry. I need to use that. Okay. Do you see where it is? And so all I'm going to do is hit enter. Okay. And there's the thick line. There's your greater than. There's your less than. Okay. Now let's put in your 2x plus 1. Okay. And I just wanted to show you what it looks like if you're on one that's, basically black and white and not color. So enter. I always hit enter before I tell it to graph just to make sure it takes. And that's what it looks like if it's black and white. Okay. And so some of the other stuff that you saw is honestly very, very, very similar. Okay. Let's do an inequality. Let's do, because you guys know how to do this because we've done this previously. So let's go back to y equals. I am going to clear that. Notice it went right back. Let's do greater than or equal to. So if you're on the Casio, this is a different example, so please follow along. And let's go over though. I need greater than or equal to. So I'm going to hit enter. Thick line, enter. Greater than, but notice it does, that's all it tells you. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I want absolute value. So remember on the TI you hit math. You go over to num. I want number 1. Okay. And again, these are newer ones, so that's why it looks like that. Okay. So if you're on a TI though, it's going to generate an open parenthesis, so you need to open it and close it. Let's do 2x minus 3. So 2x minus 3. And then I'm going to go outside. This is where if you're on the older model, you would close it. And then let's do plus 1. Okay. I'm going to enter. And then I'm going to tell it to graph. And there you go. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm on a standard window, -10, +10, scale of 1. But that's what that looks like when you do it on a TI. So if you need to replay it, please do. If you need, to watch it again, that's fine. Just kind of wanted to guide you through that. So give me a minute and I want to just look up one more thing. All right. I just wanted to show you, I got it to work, so I just wanted to show you something a little bit different. In that I wanted to show you that what happens if I give it to you and it's a different style. So let's do 2x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 12. This is the one I verbally talked you through. You do need to solve this for y, so let's subtract 2x from both sides. So we're going to have 3y is greater than or equal to -2x plus 12. I'm going to divide through by 3. Notice I'm going all the way across. One of the little mistakes that I saw people make is you guys only do part of it and not all of it. So it's y is greater than or equal to -2/3 x. Do not change it to a decimal because you don't want that. And then plus 4. And that's what you need to do if it's not already in y equals format, slope-intercept form, whatever you want to call it. You need to put it in that form. Now, in your book, all of you have access to that. There's a few problems there that you need to be able to do. And what that is that's about writing equations. So you pick, some of them are just straight lines, so you pick y-intercept, find the slope, write it. And then just don't forget whether to put the solid or the dashed line. Make sure it's shaded either above or below. If it's a vertical line, it's shaded. If it's a greater than, it's shaded right. If it's less than, it's shaded left. Absolute value, you have the table. You actually did that information on the daily check where you know what's happening to the graph based on where it is. And you do need to be able to write that. And then also work on the review because, you need to do that. So thank you very much, and I hope this was helpful. I will see you on the next video.